Hey, everybody, welcome into the building. This is Tea Time with the Diva. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. Okay, and for all of you out there, hit that like button. Help us sis out with her videos. So listen, guys, today's Tea Time is dedicated to Jamie Foxx, sending well wishes and prayers his way. And listen, let me tell you, in my opinion, all of the reports that we're hearing about Jamie Foxx, he's awake, he's alert, he's doing well, I think it's a bunch of lies. But I think it's lies in order to protect Jamie Foxx and his image. And especially because I found, the old Oprah interview that Jamie Foxx did with her. And it seems like his whole life, okay, 18 and on, his family was always in protection mode of Jamie Foxx. And to that, you know what I said? He has an amazing family and God bless them all. But in terms of, it being him being a public figure, and this situation being a public thing, I think that their damage control can be done a little bit better. And maybe they need to get a publicist involved because it's not good for the public to hear things and the things don't add up, the dots aren't connecting. Okay. And what do I mean by that? The latest report we heard is that Jamie Foxx is awake and alert. It's like, hold on now, wait a minute. Awake and alert. Y'all never told us he wasn't awake, okay? And when you hear that somebody's awake and alert, you're thinking, okay, was this person in a coma? Whether the coma was because they was in a coma or maybe it was a medically induced coma just so their body can relax and heal. But it doesn't sound good when you want to say awake and alert, but then you want to try to keep telling us he's doing fine and he's recovering well. What type of medical emergency has you in a hospital for over 2 weeks if things are going well? Especially even though this is a young kid, when you want to compare it to the Ralph Yar, who he had a situation where unfortunately he was powed in the head and in the arm, and 2 to 3 days later he's home recovering. Okay, that's something very traumatic and serious. And then you have Jamie Foxx with this undisclosed medical emergency that happened over 2 weeks ago, and he's still in the hospital. Something doesn't seem right. But I want to take y'all back to when he did an interview with Oprah, okay? So y'all don't think I'm just speculating and making stuff up about Jamie Foxx. He talked to Oprah himself about dealing with substance and alcohol abuse, okay? So now this you can go back and try to on demand this particular interview. It was heartfelt, it was very telling, and it was sad how one thing happened to him that changed his whole life. Okay, now it says Jamie Foxx opens up about his battle with substance abuse and depression. I always had a childhood fear of losing my mind. So, a tortured soul, so to speak. It's kind of sad, right? So, Jamie Foxx has been in the entertainment industry for nearly 3 decades as a comedian, actor, singer, and host. In his expansive career, he rarely speaks about his personal life and his mental health until now. Okay. And a lot of people deal with the mental health issues. And if you remember when they first put out reports about Jamie Foxx having this medical emergency on the set of his Netflix movie that he was currently doing with Cameron Diaz, they said that on there, he was kind of hallucinating. He was saying, people was trying to come after him and take his money. So he was going through a lot of stress on this set, okay? And maybe some of his mental health issues were kicking in. So they said during an interview with Hip Hollywood, the Ray and Baby Driver actor told us about his struggle with drugs and alcoholism. Okay, so this is out of Jamie Foxx's own mouth. This is not anyone speculating that he has issue with drugs and alcohol. He would use the substances as a coping mechanism to deal with stress and depression early in his career. Okay, I was in a bad place because I felt like I might be literally losing my mind, Jamie said. I've always had a childhood fear of losing my mind. I needed someone to help bring me out of it. Whew, when you hear the backstory of some people, it really softens your heart and you're like, oh my God, wow, would have never known that Jamie Foxx, was going through this. He said after the issue escalated, Fox sought treatment from a psychologist who discovered the root of the problem. It turns out the issue started when he was a teen, a deep seated dread of mental illness that was exacerbated by the incident where he was 18 when his drink was spiked by the hallucinogenic drug PCP at a college party. We gotta warn because I have a son. My son, I only have one son. He's about to go to college, and you really gotta warn your kids about, some of these pitfalls that can happen to them while they're at college. It's so sad. He spoke about the incident with Oprah during an Oprah Next Chapter telecast, right? Fox blacked out and had to be taken to the emergency room. Now, this is he blacked out when someone spiked his drink when he was only 18 in college and had to be taken to the emergency room. He said, that was the last thing I said. And then I was almost in a coma and I couldn't move, couldn't talk, couldn't even say, take me to the hospital. He truly believed it was the end. The traumatic incident would trigger emotional flashbacks years after. Is that not sad? Now, I want to go back to the set of the Netflix movie. They said on the Netflix movie, before he had the medical emergency, there were days where he was just passing out. Okay. It happened to me when I was 18 and I had 11 months of harsh flashbacks. That's sad. And then when I was 26, I had a flashback just like that, snapped his fingers. And another one when I was 32. And that was the last one. But I'll always worry about it coming back. How sad is that to live in that turmoil like that, right? There have been several manic mental health episodes throughout his life. This is out of Jamie Foxx mouth, people, not anybody making it up. He had several manic mental health issues throughout his life. Okay. Fox, who is 50, and now he's 55. So he did this interview back when he was 50, said he shares similarities with rapper Kanye West and he sympathizes with Ye the artist. So do you see here you have Jamie Foxx. The difference pretty much between Jamie Foxx and Kanye West manic episodes is, Jamie Foxx had the family of friends that surrounded him, that protected him from being out in the public eye when these episodes happened, where Ye always did not. Okay, there was times where he did have people protecting him, but for the most part, we've seen a lot of Kanye West manic episodes. Okay, so he continued on. When Kanye talked about the drugs, the mental drugs, I've had an episode of that. Jamie Foxx told Hip Hollywood. When Kanye was talking about I went in for 2 pills and then the 7 pills he received from the hospital, that's real. So Jamie Foxx is letting you know, like, don't just look so badly upon Kanye West. I dealt with the same thing myself. But he admits that he was not allowed to go out in public when he was at his lowest. So God bless his family. And I think that's why this current situation, medical situation that he suffered on the set of his Netflix movie, the family has yet again gone in protection mode. And you know what? Thank God for that, right? So they're protecting him. That's why they don't want us to know all his business right now. Family members were his backbone, and they still are. They held him up when he couldn't do it himself. Amen to that. I was lucky enough to have people like my sister. And unfortunately, I want to say recently, his sister that he was taking care of, I want to say she had autism, but some type of condition on that level. And she wasn't that high functioning. And I think her passing, didn't help Jamie Foxx in these, years right now either. Like my family to say, yo, You can't go out right now because you talking crazy, he shared. Now, the Oscar-winning actor plans to join the superhero craze by becoming Spawn in his next major film. Now, this I said is an old interview. Now, you should go back and watch the next chapter of Oprah where he talks a little more in depth about this situation. I'm going to play a few seconds of him talking just so you can hear him, but I need you to go back and look at it because these people get crazy now when you play their videos. So I'm just going to play a smidgen.
When we talked years ago, you were saying the spirit of your grandmother, sometimes you even talk to her, is always with you. When was the last time you behaved in a way you knew your grandmother would not approve?
Oh man, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, it ain't like, I mean, it's, that's the thing about grandmother.
So that's all I'm going to play, unfortunately, guys, because I'm telling you, they get so crazy when we play their videos now on YouTube. But he just, to let you know, his grandmother was his backbone, raised by his grandmother. His grandmother is the one that made sure he was classically trained on a piano. So when you see Jamie Foxx playing that piano, he can really play, okay? Heart goes out to Jamie Foxx. And that is probably why, it gives you, I wanted to show you that first to give you a little more insight as to why we're only getting breadcrumbs about his condition. His family always did a good job of protecting Jamie Foxx when he was at his lowest, and they're continuing to do that now. Okay, Nick Cannon. He's another one, good friend of Jamie Foxx. Okay, now this is just going to give you a more clue, guy, as to why we're not hearing the exact details of Jamie's condition, because he got good people behind him that's doesn't want his image to be tainted and don't want us to run away with whatever really probably did happen to him. Don't know if it was a stroke, don't know if it was the mental drugs that they was giving him, or maybe substance abuse. We don't know, and we just know that whatever it is, being that this is my opinion, he's still in the hospital is definitely not good. And being that they most recently said he's awake and alert, it's like, okay, hold on, was he in a coma? You know, understand what I mean? So Nick Cannon gives an update on Jamie Foxx amid him being in the hospital. And what they're saying is Nick is sharing an update on his friend Jamie Foxx. Okay, he spoke to Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight. He pretty much says that he's praying for Jamie Foxx and that he's about to do something special for him. And he said, and I'm doing him a favor. Don't know what that favor is. Don't know what the special thing is that Nick Cannon is doing from him. But again, I want to point out that he said that Jamie Foxx gave Nick Cannon permission to say that he's going to do something special for him. But in my thing, I'm like, did you speak to him or did his family give you the permission? Because he also says in the same sentence, he's awake. They say he's alert, so we love it. So again, I get the feeling that Nick Cannon didn't speak to Jamie Foxx himself, because he's saying they said he's alert. If you spoke to him, you'd be like, yo, he's alert. I spoke to him, all is well. He's getting better. So we still don't know, but apparently Nick Cannon has something special he's going to do for Jamie Foxx, and we'll hear about that soon. But the same with all of Jamie Foxx's other friends also, okay? Martin Lawrence gives an update, okay? And Martin Lawrence pretty much says the same thing. He's saying that, they say that he's doing better, so I'm praying for him. And I mean, celebrity after celebrity after celebrity is pretty much saying that they, meaning they didn't hear for themselves, but they heard that Jamie Foxx is doing okay and he's doing better. Now, there's speculation that Jamie Foxx perhaps had a stroke. And I just want to say this to you in case you ever, wanted to know the signs and symptoms of a stroke. And it is important that if someone in your family or one of your friends is having a stroke, that you act fast. Now, the reason why I'm believing that possibly Jamie Foxx had a stroke is because when the daughter put out the statement initially, she said that everyone acted fast. And that is the word and the acronyms that they kind of use when you're trying to determine if someone has a stroke. Okay, and they tell you that fast protocol is stroke signs and symptoms. And they use the word fast because you got to act fast, but also it tells you, each letter tells you what to look for so that you can act fast and call 911. If someone's face is drooping, okay? I heard before they usually said on the left side, but I think it probably could be either side. And it's uneven or lopsided. And they said the way you could really figure it out is if you think it's lopsided, but you're not sure, ask the person to smile. If it's uneven or lopsided, you probably need to call 911. Okay, arm weakness. Ask them to raise both their arms. If one arm is kind of drooping down, that's probably having a stroke. Call 911. Speech. If their speech is slurred, call 911. They said the time, is of the essence. The quicker you get them help, the better. And they said, even if the symptoms go away, still get that person to the hospital. All right. So, one, I want to say this, wishing Jamie Foxx all the best, okay? Praying that he goes well. But now I have a better understanding as to why the family is being so secretive about his condition. And the reason why is because they always kind of protected him. And who knew? I did not know that he had this situation where he went through, he suffers with depression. He's been on medication. He can relate to Kanye West. And he masked his situation with alcohol and substances. So prayers to Jamie Foxx. Hopefully that'll give you a better understanding as to why they're not giving us high level detail on his condition, because that family knows how to protect their brother, their cousin, their friend. They're protecting Jamie Foxx, and that I can appreciate. So listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. And don't forget, hit the like button, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Can you just give this family all the credit for wanting to protect Jamie Foxx and not have all of these crazy stories out there about him, especially because sometimes people really can't understand mental illness, how serious it is, and what those individuals go through. I mean, to this day, Kanye West is judged. He's not looked at as someone that has mental illness where he really needs help. They just love to say that is Kanye. He's crazy. He's a nut job. He needs to be locked up, or whatever the case may be. And Jamie Foxx family doesn't want that same narrative put out there about him. And that's why they protect them. Listen, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.